CGP.
Cleveland Gaming Podcast.
Video games, culture, anime, toys, pinball, tabletop.
CGP.
Cleveland Gaming Podcast. Here we go. CGP. This is the Cleveland Gaming Podcast.
CGP.
Time to press start.
What's up, fellow nerds, gamers, and everyone? Yes, that includes you. And the person that you're probably idling next to right now at a stoplight. And all those people in between, you are listening to the Cleveland Gaming Podcast, the best podcast about gaming in all the land. And of course, we mean the birthplace of Superman, Cleveland. My name is Cory, MC of the Main Stage Program Director, and all the things in between. And don't forget number 3 on the leaderboard, because we're joined by number 1 himself. And may I just say, having just set up an arcade with him recently, quite an efficient mover of arcade cabinets, Tom Jenkins. Tom, it's been over a month. We've been pretty busy with all the stuff we've had around Cleveland.
Should we share our text thread with our listeners of all the arcade troubleshooting you and I have had to do?
We could do that, but we really try to keep this podcast within an hour at most, and I really want to make sure we get to the heat of the episode. We could probably share a few things that we've done. For example, as I alluded to,
maybe they learned something, right? Maybe they learned something.
Maybe they learned something. But yeah, well, we did a few things. We had a pop-up arcade for the Superman movie premiere at Tower City. That was pretty cool. I know we went to CCAG. I was not part of that one, unfortunately. But it seemed like it was a lot of fun, right, Tom?
Yeah, it was great. We gave away a lot of free t-shirts. We had some fun. So CCAG is always great. I mean, it was one of the first conventions I went to when I was a kid back here in the Cleveland area. So it's great to be still a part of that thing. And Matt Teskey, the organizer there, does a great job. It's a really great job.
And, of course, let's not forget about the chaotic yet wholesome live stream that we had, Christmas in July. We were joined by a couple Christmas trees, 2 of the young ones that are associated with the show. As we mentioned before, this is a family show, and we got to have a few of the young ones that are associated here with the family part of the show. You know, we're not a firm. We're just people running a show. We're families. You know, Tom, your young one got to join us at the Christmas in July celebration.
Yeah, first time Harrison was on one of our live streams. So yeah, it's my oldest. And then he was with us at CCAG too. And like you said, it's always good. So if you see kids helping out, right? Those are usually friends of kids or our kids ourselves, and just a family operation here. So really cool to see.
It's kind of like free labor, but not, because I know we end up paying them somehow. So
a lot of chicken tenders. A lot of chicken tenders and Gatorade.
There we go. But that was the past, and let's talk about the presents, because we have ourselves a guest that I'm very excited to have joining us. Someone that is part of an organization that joined us last year in our special guest, let's call it collaborative. And we're going to dive into some cool stuff. But before we get to it, a few bits of housekeeping and upkeeping. This show is brought to you by you, so thanks for listening. Like, share, subscribe, do all the things, because, well, we're coming at it real soon. And that's point number 2, Cleveland Gaming Classic. It's coming up soon, September 19th through the 21st this year. We are hustling. It is less than 2 months, Tom, to the show date, but we are cooking like a pair of chefs on the hit FXX show, The Bear. So come see what we're cooking up at the IX Center this year. Tom, my shoulders might be sore, but my heart is full of nerddom.
Well, good, because you'll have plenty to move in September, so get ready to be sore.
I will get ready to be even more sore, but we're going to go from sore to sweet, because we're going to be soaring high with our guest on the episode this week. Heather, I need to know, because when I was doing my research into this episode and into your vast array of work, I heard about Heather's herd. And I was wondering if you could just kind of explain the origins of how that happened. I mean, what an alliterative, nearly Shakespearean bit of brilliance that is.
So Heather's Herd is what I call the community on Twitch, because there's two things that I love. Well, three, but the third doesn't play into this. I love giraffes and giant robots. And so the mascot for my channel is a mecha giraffe, as one would assume. So I kind of thought about, what can the community be? And I was like, a herd. We're all just a herd of stampeding mecha giraffes just making our way through the internet,
The imagery of that is stark and quite, I guess sobering. I'm kind of scared of a giant mechanized giraffe. Well, do either of you know, Tom or Heather, was there ever a giant giraffe in the old Beast Wars cartoon from the 90s? If not, I feel like that's a failure of translation.
All I was thinking about was I was envisioning Mecha Godzilla battling Mecha Giraffezilla. So that's what I was thinking of. I don't know why I was thinking about that, but that's what that reminded me of.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there ever was one in Beast Wars, though. I was never, for all my love of giant robots, I was never a big Transformers person.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not either. I know why it's important, but it's just not very important to me. The only reason why it's important is because it had a Magic the Gathering edition, and I'm like, okay, great, now I gotta know a bunch of this stuff. Now, if that doesn't establish the level of nerdiness, Heather, I don't know what will.
I love that for you.
All right, I have to interject. I did have Transformers bed sheets as a kid, so I got you both beat.
We're
True
both
story.
big fans, so take that win.
It's a win, and I'll tell you what else is a win. It's our amazing guests this week on the Cleveland Gaming Podcast, coming from a returning group that was with our show last year. That's Channel Awesome. And this year, we get to welcome another member of that team coming to the Cleveland Gaming Classic this year. Heather, welcome to the Cleveland Gaming Podcast. How you feeling? Thanks for joining us.
I'm feeling great. I'm really excited to be here. I'm ready to just hang out, chat, learn more about the con and all of you, and have a great time.
All of those things will happen, and I do have to say, all of the awesome displays behind you. I feel like as a Twitch streamer, you really have the display behind you on lock. I feel like I could spend at least a few weeks trying to dive into all the little Easter eggs and the stuff behind you. Even though this is an audio-only podcast, guess what? Sorry, listeners, we're doing it anyway.
Yeah, it's an amalgamation of things that I've collected throughout the years, as well as gifts from fans. If people give me something, I want to add it in. One of my most recent additions is I was a teacher for 10 years before I did full-time content creation. And I had someone at C2E2 give me my own engraved Golden Apple Award because I never won a Golden Apple as a teacher. And so that's the newest little thing that's back there is my Golden Apple Award for Heather Reusz, Twitch Queen.
That's kind of adorable. I love that. It's funny, we kind of share a little bit of a pedigree as well. I was in my master's of getting an English education degree, and then I was like, nope, and then I yeeted to work for Disney Cruise Lines for 7 years. So we got some similarity in pedigree, Tom, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. What did you teach, Heather? I was curious. What did you teach for 10 years?
I taught middle school English grammar and writing. So I was diagramming sentences with 13-year-olds.
I'm in for it this episode. So Cory is always outwitting me with big words, and you used amalgamation very early on, so I'm intimidated. Yeah, that's where I thought I would lob the Transformers bed sheets to try to get one up above you and Cory, but I'm doomed.
Some would say the Transformers bed sheets are a bigger flex than knowing big words, so you could still be winning.
Tom, we'll give you plenty of time to open up your thesaurus and, of course, your side window of ChatGPT to get ready for this episode. But to vault ourselves into this, we have to ask everyone that comes on the show, Heather, what are you playing right now? We're a video game convention at our roots. Is there any game that's really grabbing your attention, that's getting you to dive in? Maybe it's not even a video game. Maybe it's something else. What is your heart and game playing schism? That's not really the right word, but it's fine. I'm just trying to keep on top of this branding.
About it. See, I got you.
Yeah, you got me to overthink it, Tom. I'm there now. Yeah.
I am playing quite a few games right now because I have never been the kind of person where I just play one game on stream and just like play that day in, day out. For me, that feels like it would be boring. So I just started Expedition 33, which has been just as good as everyone said it is. Like, gosh darn it. It is so charming. It is so French. The music is so good. I'm loving Expedition 33 so far. I'm playing Echoes of Wisdom, the Zelda game. I'm finally playing Hades for the first time ever. And
Really? First time for Hades?
Oh my gosh, it is addicting. It's a problem. Anytime there's like a week where I might miss a Hades stream, I'm like, we're changing the schedule. I have to play Hades. I just got to get that hit. I got to do one more run. I got to do one more run. It has been probably the game that I've gone over time the most often because I'm just like, one more run, just one more run. But man, that's no, everyone else knew. It's a great game. It's fantastic. I did just finish Persona 3 as well, which was absolutely traumatizing in the best way.
Hold. Don't give me them spoilers. I'm at least on the edge of TikTok where they're giving it to me and I know something really traumatic happened, so I just need to like not get the full picture yet, but love me some Persona 3.
Yeah, that was my most recent game that I finished and it's great. So I'm always playing Fortnite as well. It was one of those things where I started playing it as like a gimmick where I was like, it's 2020. Wouldn't it be funny if I just got a group of 30-year-old women to play Fortnite? And now we just love it. We play Fortnite at least once a week.
I adore that. I love it. We're spreading it out. Also, I want to loop back to Expedition 33 because I've been waiting to find a physical copy of the game. Should I keep waiting, or do I need to just like jump in? As a fan of Final Fantasy X and French, of course, like you mentioned, and France, whatever, it's fine. English language. Tom, you threw me off my game.
You're in your head
tilt
now.
Right now. You are on tilt. I love it.
I think it's worth just jumping in. I got it on Game Pass. I have Game Pass, and so it's just on my Xbox right now. But you could always just get a physical copy when the physical copy comes out. That's what I did with Persona 3, actually. I played it on my Xbox through Game Pass, and then as soon as I had the funds, I bought a physical copy of it as well.
Fair. That's what I want. I would love to have that, but I think you convinced me. As soon as probably the show season is clear, I'll dive into that because I've got stuff I'm playing too. But Heather, I love the list. And Tom, I think you know that I love her list as well for a number of reasons. But Tom, why don't you tell us, what are you playing right now?
All right, Cory. And I'm not sure you're ready for this. And Heather, this is...
Don't tell me, Tom. Did you do it?
So I can't even. We've been waiting for this for 2 seasons now. Tom Jenkins, listener, am currently playing Final Fantasy VII.
Remake or the original?
Folks.
I'm playing the original.
On PlayStation?
No, I played it on the Switch 2. So I downloaded it on the Switch 2. It was $17.99. So I've been playing it in bed every night, and it's different. I will say, when it loaded up, I was like, wait, I have to watch all these scenes. This is why I'm not good at RPGs. See, I have no patience. I'm like, I just want to get to the action, right? So that's part of my impatience.
Tom is literally trying to take a siege on Midgar right now, and he's like, let me just go and teabag someone. When is that time happening, bro?
Well, then where I'm at right now, I just blew up some refinery or something, and I'm very beginning of the game. You're welcome. And these are no spoilers. I think this game came out 30 years ago or 20 years ago. But I blew up some refinery, and now I just learned about materia and how to apply it to your weapons. So that's where I'm at. I think I'm at the 3rd checkpoint. But I am playing Final Fantasy VII. You're welcome.
Welcome to the club. Do you know any of the spoilers, though? Do you know any of the big spoilers?
No. This has been the whole running gag.
Magical.
For years, Heather, has been in my defense, there are gaps in what I say. People have strengths and weaknesses, just like in everything. And in a lot of RPGs, I just don't tend to gravitate towards them because, like you're talking about Fortnite, I'm more of a casual pick up and I want to play for 20 minutes put it down, come back, have fun with friends. Now, that being said, I am almost at the end of Baldur's Gate 3, but I did pivot to Final Fantasy 7 because I promised Cory I would do it this year.
That's
And you promised
crazy.
a ton of other guests too. Like an actual large number of people on this podcast. Tom, I'm not gonna lie. I did not think you were gonna get across the finish line and even start the game. And here he is, Heather, like a man of his word.
And, it was worth the $17.99 so far. So, yeah. But Cory, what are you playing? I'm curious what you're playing right now.
You know, Tom, I have to say, I think you finding it at $17.99 is a perfect mark because Tom, if anything, is a fan of a good steal. So you got it, and you don't have to worry about spending the $60, $70 back in the 90s. So good on you, dude. Good on you.
One more piece, though, before I let you answer what you're playing. I did find on the Switch, I don't know if this probably wasn't in the original, but you can toggle in the left analog stick. You can push it in, and it speeds up the game. So you press it in, and it does it at a 3x mode. So it'll go through a lot of the dialogue and all the animation of the characters, and it's almost like comically funny. They just zipping around the screen, but I turn it off when it gets to a good part.
Heather, I wish I was a fly on the wall when he finally meets Vincent. I would love to see Tom when he gets to that moment.
If there's one thing that I love, it's just some good old-fashioned edgy anime boys. So Final Fantasy VII is that.
In spades, in fact, in spades. So Tom asked, what am I playing? Well, I had a really good excuse to buy a new video game because we had a weekend where we set up a couple different pop-ups around Cleveland for actually, ironically, the Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering set release, which we did a bunch of different charity events. And I was like, you know what? I can only push my Switch to one of these two shows, so we bought a Switch 2. And now I'm playing Super Mario Kart World. So that has been my pick up and go in between things. It's great. It's fun. I haven't had a positive experience with a Mario Kart game in such a long time, and I really am appreciating it. And it also just has enough deepness that just picking up a random race is enough for me, because you can do a lot of things inside of that race. I've yet to jump into the online sphere where I know I'm going to think that I was good, but I ain't good. And I'm waiting to get that reality check. But it will happen. It'll happen eventually. Or when Tom finally decides to join me for a game, and then he can show me what's for.
No, I did attempt to go online. Heather, have you played it online? Have you played? Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I haven't.
played it online, and I was grossly embarrassed. I was like, okay, I suck. I'm never playing Mario Kart again.
For real though, especially in a game that kind of predicates itself on a competitive thing, second I jump into that sphere, I feel like I'm gonna ruin the soup of the joy that I'm having, and having the open world of it all and being able to roam has given me just enough where I don't feel like I need to go in there, but I can definitely set it up with a bunch of friends and have a good time. So that's kind of where I'm at. Have you picked up Switch 2 yet, Heather?
I have not. I actually don't even, the joke is, I don't even technically own the Switch that I have right now. Channel Awesome technically bought it, but
Amazing.
It lives at my house. So I never even bought a Switch.
Heather, for what it's worth, I definitely have at least an Xbox 360 and a Wii in my house, and I definitely don't own them. I would say that the Cleveland Gaming Classic owns it. So, relatable.
But that's what those were.
Yeah, it's with me. It's with me. But it takes 40 minutes for me to drive to your place, so I'm going to save the gas money. And we're going to save some more of this video game conversation for a little bit, but we have a guest with us. Heather, I love Channel Awesome. I've been watching it forever. Me and my best friend named some of our teams after memes from the show, and I just love the different generations and the movements and all that. But any good actor performer, it's good to know what the underpinning of them is. You said that you came from an education background, so how did your acting journey begin? Has it always been part of it being in the English sphere, or did something suddenly spark, almost like say someone unlocking their persona power?
I have always wanted to do acting and study acting. I did it in grade school, high school, and I did do it in college. It was my minor. I was one of those I was an overachiever. I mean, I shouldn't even say was. I still am. I'm an overachiever. And so, like, even in college, I had an elementary education major with a theater minor and concentrations in social studies and English so that I could teach them at middle school and high school level. So it was always something that I was involved with, and like in a pie in the sky, perfect world, I was like, I want to just do acting in some way, shape, or form as like my full-time job. But even when I graduated in like 2009, I don't even think YouTube was at the top of my mind in that moment of like, oh, that's something that's a viable career path. So I did do a couple of auditions, and I actually first auditioned for Channel Awesome to be on demo reel. Obviously,
Oh, wow.
I didn't get on demo reel, but that was my first audition for Channel Awesome. And before that, and Doug knows this, so this isn't any new information, before that audition, I had never seen Nostalgia Critic. I had like no base of reference, but my boyfriend at the time was like really into it. And he was like, hey, I was watching Nostalgia Critic, and at the end of the episode, they were saying that they're holding auditions for a new show, and like, it's not too far from us. Like, maybe you should just go. And I was like, sure, okay, fine, whatever. At this point, I'll take anything, because at that point I was focusing more on like voice acting, because there's a lot of commercial voice acting in Chicago. And I went for that audition, obviously didn't get it. Went to Rachel, and Tamara came in later and with Nostalgia Critic after Rachel left. But then I went back in for a second interview with them in late 2015, early 2016 for a show called Awesome Comics. And that one I did get, but ironically, I feel like my story is, the moral of the story is just show up and be present, because when I booked Awesome Comics for Channel Awesome, I was supposed to be an alternate. Like, I wasn't supposed to be on every week. I was just supposed to be like, oh, if someone couldn't do it, or someone didn't want to watch the movie or watch the show or read the comic that we were talking about that week, I was just supposed to like be a pinch hitter. But I was just always there. Even if they were like, oh, well, you don't need to be there, I'm like, I'll still show up on set just in case. Who knows? I'll be there. And then I became a regular on that and went to Nostalgia Critic, and, you know, the rest is history, I suppose.
Yeah, and I love that message. And that's kind of not unsimilar to how I joined our show as well. I was working for a different company, and we needed someone to help out with the AVT of it all, you know, running the audio and the video for the main stage. And I just said, hey, let me jump on the main stage and help you all out for some stuff. And now I am, let's say, lovingly poached by Tom to edit podcasts and work booths for hours on end. But it is about showing up, and it's about being willing to take on that responsibility. I think that's a wonderful message to anyone that's looking to get into the sphere of performative acting, voice acting, whatever it is.
We see that a lot with our guests with the show. Like, I can tell you, I know like even Carrie Hoskins and her role with Mortal Kombat and NBA Jam, and even Tim Kitzrow shared with me his story. And then Charles Martinet, voice actor of Mario, has told his story a million times about, you know, he was like the last one in, didn't know anything, just made up a voice, right? So I feel like oftentimes maybe that's a little bit of the, you know, silver bullet or magic, right? Is just kind of going into it and not having that pressure put on you, and that way you can perform at your best, you know. And that's the same, like Cory, you're saying with us with the show. That's, we perform at our best when, you know, we're setting up 5 minutes before this podcast or whatever it is, and we just say, let's just go in and have a fun time, and we can do it, right? So kudos to you, Heather. I think that shows your passion for your work.
Yeah, and I obviously, after the first audition, I did start watching Nostalgia Critic, so it's not like I was just some fake fan after this for the second audition.
You did your dramaturgy. You researched and you figured out what was underneath it. And not to like go too far away from the point, but it does remind me of a moment when I used to work for Disney. There was an actor that came on board. I don't know if you all know him, probably do. Neil Patrick Harris. He came on the ship for the premiere of Star Wars Day at Sea, and I was one of the opening performers for that. And he definitely gave everyone, you know, that was in the performative sphere a little speech. And he said, the most important lesson I can ever give someone is to never say no to an opportunity. Don't let someone take advantage of you. But if you see something, take it on. It is okay to do something you didn't expect to do. And while, you know, we might be a fun podcast, I think we're really getting some life lessons underneath it. Man, how did we get so heavy, Tom?
Yeah, geez, what a bunch of nerds trying to teach people how to live their lives. Gosh.
Well, Heather, you started in 2016, as you kind of mentioned. You had a couple auditions, and then you kind of came into the Channel Awesome sphere, which, as you mentioned, you know, had tons of content at that point. How did it feel to become part of a pedigree of a group like that? Was it like intimidating to jump into that, or was it one of those, hey, I feel like I got this group that is established, we call that something like, I don't know, job security, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was really intimidating at first to know that you're joining this whole legacy, because as much as Doug does downplay it, like, he is early YouTube, like, legacy forever. So it was very intimidating at first to join and be like, okay, what is this going to be like? You know, how are people even going to react to us? It was nice to start on the smaller show on Awesome Comics, because then there wasn't as much pressure. So I got to get more confidence. And I'm also a big proponent of fake it till you make it. You know, you just got to tell yourself, I got this for a reason. I got this role for a reason. You know, there were other people. It's not like they just picked me off the street, or sometimes a lot of people would just assume that, like, we're friends with Doug, or we're friends with Rob, or we're friends with people at the channel. It's like, no, I earned my stripes, darn it. So it's like, it was nice to start in Awesome Comics and just get some of that confidence. Although the first time I ever shot a Nostalgia Critic, I was like terrified at first. It was like one of the first times I'd ever met Tamara and Malcolm, and like, I was just like, we're here, I'm here, it's gonna be so much fun. Well, and my first Nostalgia Critic that I ever shot was this huge production. It was a huge to-do. It was the Elvin and the Chipmunks review. And we did a whole, like, shot-for-shot recreation of one of the songs in the movie. And so I thought this was just what every Nostalgia Critic was gonna be like this huge production. We were on set like from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. and, you know, all this crazy, we had to go and record the song somewhere else as well in a different studio. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be crazy. This is crazy. I don't know if I could do, I mean, I knew I could do it. But it was intimidating. You know?
Yeah, fake it till you make it, right?
Right.
Said, yeah.
Right, but now it's just, you know, I don't know. I don't even think about it sometimes, I guess, you know?
Yeah, eventually you just know what you're doing and you do it. And it's like, you know, Tom, we don't know anything about fake it till you make it, right? Obviously. But it's a function of, once you're in it, you just have to kind of figure out what the solution is going to be, no matter what it is. And one thing, too, you kind of mentioned, and I think is definitely worthy of consideration. Have you always been part of, by the way, the Chicago area, Heather? Like that Illinois, Chicago area?
Yeah. I was born and raised in the greater Chicagoland area, which is a very Chicago thing for me to say. Doug swears when I first auditioned that I had a stronger Chicago accent. I don't think my way of speaking or accent has changed, but I don't know. He swears I had a really thick, like, Chicago accent. But to be fair, my grandma is Italian Chicago. Like, she is Bears, brats, you know, like.
Oh, yeah.
Very thick Chicago Italian accent.
Oh, yeah. I mean, being from Wisconsin myself, Heather, you know, people always say you've got a Wisconsin accent. I'm like, what the heck does that even mean? Don't you know? I have no idea. What do you think? What is this, Duluth? Regardless, though, you having this experience in that area, and I also kind of dipped my toe into the Chicagoland area back when I was working on the cruise lines and had time in between. Chicago's really gone through this renaissance. It has this now reputation for being another great major metropolitan area that can do a lot of filming. Whether it's Chicago Med, PD, Fire, it's providing opportunities to Midwestern performers. And as someone that's kind of been across that entire area, can you speak a little bit, Heather, to that growth? And almost connected as well, I'd love to hear, because Doug and Channel Awesome and you guys have really elevated the production quality of the videos over time. Alvin and Chipmunks, Ghostbusters, all those in between have really highlighted that. What was that movement like? Was it just a response to the growing medium of YouTube? Was it a resolution? Was it a reflection of Chicago at the time?
It's been interesting to see how some of the landscape has changed, because I feel like Chicago has always been a major player in terms of commercials, very specifically. Like, whenever I started doing voice acting, it was like commercial voice acting. That's just like what you have in Chicago. So it's nice to see the growth outside of that more to like movies and TV shows. I feel like we're still fairly small for new media in terms of like YouTube and other kinds of content creation. We've been invited to some Chicagoland like mixers where it's other content creators, and we're still on the higher level or end of that, and it does feel like still people leave to like go to LA to do more content creation stuff, but there's just so many opportunities still here to work with other companies and other YouTubers and have the kind of stability, I guess, that's coming now with more and more productions moving some of their production heads or headquarters to Chicago as well. But it's been really interesting to see that unfold.
And I'm just kind of curious too. You mentioned before that, you know, you started off in one role and then kind of moved into, as opposed to an alternate. You do a lot of things right now, Heather, inside of Channel Awesome. Can you kind of give us a scope? And I'm just kind of curious, what does that daily life look like? Tom and I don't want to speak too much for you, Tom, Horizons would love to make something like CGC into more of a real-time, full-time gig. So like maybe you can give us a scope of what does the daily hustle look like, you know? And Tom, you taking notes? Because I'm taking notes right here. I got my notepad.
Copious amounts of notes. Copious amounts. Heather's going to be checking them with her English.
Oh yeah, I'll give you a grade.
Yeah, she's going to school me.
Please don't.
Minus on these notes.
Yeah, my main scope of what I do at Channel Awesome is the live streaming. My official title used to be Twitch Queen, like it was on my paperwork and everything. That was my official title. Started as a joke, and then it was just like what my official title was Twitch Queen. But now we do live streaming as well on YouTube.
I've noticed that a lot.
Expert.
I've seen that a lot. I keep checking those out. I join the chat quite often. I like joining those. Yeah, and everyone's saying, hey, you're answering the questions, and Doug and you go back and forth. Like, it's fun. I love those YouTube live chats, and they're so easy. The best part is, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it's just they're so easy to drop in on, and it makes it. I go on Twitch all the time, but I find myself going on YouTube live because I see the channels I subscribe to, because I'm on YouTube for everything, right? As opposed to logging into Twitch. But those are great content you guys do.
Oh, thank you. Those actually started as not an accident, but yeah, kind of a happy accident, because when we first started live streaming and really focusing in on Twitch, I think there was a thought process that it's for gaming, so everyone has to play games. It's for gaming, so everyone has to play games. And then when we had to figure out remote streaming for COVID, when we were in lockdown, I had floated the idea well, it's going to be a little difficult for me to figure out in like a week how to get it so that Doug can stream with, and then I can see the screen and whatever, like we do with on the Friday gaming streams that Doug does now. Why don't we just like do a Q&A? I'll set some bit limits or just see what the chat has. I'll collect questions and we'll just like hang out. And it became so popular that that's just a regular on our schedule now. But it was a happy accident. Doug used to just game with Rob on that Wednesday night slot. But yeah, I think it turned out really well, because I think there's a lot of people who enjoy having those just casual conversations. And
that's what people want. They want like this, right? They want just get to know the person and talk to them, and it's all about the accessibility of it too, right? Making it real time, which you guys do a really nice job at.
Thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of balls in the air when I do that one, but I feel like I've slowly perfected it.
I can tell sometimes you're like Doug, trying to bring it back in. Like I can read you, I can tell, but it's good. It's
Tom,
an art.
Who does that sound like, trying to rein something back in during a talk back and forth? Who could that be, Tom?
Are you talking about me or you?
Yeah, okay. Of us reining in, who's the one that reins things in, Tom?
I'm gonna let Heather sign this one.
I haven't been here enough. I don't know. I don't want to pick sides. So good.
Don't put our guests under the bus, Tom. Come on.
Fair. It's only fair. Everyone gets one.
Okay, sure.
So my daily is mainly with the live streaming, but I do film Nostalgia Critic every other week now. I'm a regular cast member on Nostalgia Critic, and with those, we film them about 2 weeks ahead of time before the review drops, because we have to make sure, YouTube YouTube sometimes can be really weird about copyright stuff and copyright strikes. And so we have to upload it like privately, like a week or two before the review actually goes live to make sure that it's not going to get copyright claimed by Warner Brothers, or it's not going to have any issues with music or anything like that. So once a week, or no, every other week, I go in and film Nostalgia Critic. And I don't have any process in writing that. Doug and Rob sit down, watch the movie, they write the script together, and then we just get the script and some costume notes if we need it. Although our prop master Jim tends to take care of a lot of that stuff because he's awesome at that kind of stuff. And we just go in and I say my silly lines and have a good time.
I love that even decades later, the process is still Doug and Rob sits down, watch movie, writes review. I think that's great, especially with the proliferation of new technology and all the growth that we have. It still comes down to that as a heart. I absolutely adore that. Tom, do you hear that? In 2025, we don't always have to use ChatGPT. You can still write something down.
Cory, I'm still taking notes, please. I'm just asking for a little bit of patience. Catching up.
Yeah, and sometimes people will ask Doug, like, why don't you have someone else edit the videos, or why don't you have another team member edit or do this or help you write or whatever? And Doug is just such a perfectionist. He just doesn't want, he knows that it would lose something if someone else edited it. Like, he's got his very specific style.
It's true.
Yeah. It's interesting getting to know Doug and Rob too, because I can tell now over the years since, like, oh my gosh, it's been almost 10 years that I've been with the channel. I can tell when it's like a Doug joke versus when it's a Rob joke, because they do have a different sense of humor and they work so well together to create this one character. But I can kind of tell because Rob's sense of humor is a little bit more biting.
I feel like after meeting Doug last year and getting to talk with him, that doesn't surprise me. But it's the voice that brings people back. It is the accessibility and the earnestness and the connection with their voice to our own interior monologue that I think is what replicates success year over year. And I think that's awesome to see. Pardon the awesome pun. But we kind of started on all of this, talking about the streams and the gaming, and Cleveland Gaming Classic at our heart is retro gaming. So Heather, this whole season we have been building up to something. We've been asking every one of our guests to put forward a game that they think is the best retro game of all time. Our DNA has been and always will be that connectivity of the games of across generations. So if you had to put something up as the best retro game of all time, Heather, what would you put up?
It's so hard to pin down just one because there's so many older games that I think are like must plays for people. But I think the two that really stick out to me are Final Fantasy VI. Yeah, more Final Fantasy for you.
It's fine. I'm not playing that before the show.
Final Fantasy VI.
Get through 7.
Yes, yeah, get through 7. And Super Metroid, I think, is like a must.
Hell yeah.
That's a great choice. It literally defined an entire genre of gaming. I love that we got that up there, Tom.
It is an amazing pick. It's funny. I was debating. I went on to back that up, Heather. I was on the Nintendo Switch 2, and I was in the store, and I'm like looking, do I play Super Nintendo game, or do I finally play Final Fantasy 7? And I was scrolling through, and I looked at Super Metroid. I'm like, oh, it's so good. It's so good. I just want to do it.
Super Metroid, my beloved.
It's a beautiful thing.
And that's one I played later in life, actually. So when Dread was about to come out, we thought it would be fun if because I love a good alliteration, Heather's heard, whatever. We thought it'd be fun if I did Metroid Mondays. And I basically started at the original and just went through almost every single game that, except for like some of the primes and 3D ones, until Dread came out. And it was like such a cool experience. And I love with a lot of the retro games, this includes Final Fantasy VI with Super Metroid 2. Like one of my earliest gaming memories is sitting on the couch with my cousin while he played the original Zelda, and we had a binder, and it was my job to like map out the dungeons and to like
I love that so
all the
much.
Notes. So even though I wasn't playing because it was his NES, whatever, I still there's that aspect of community that, like, you can go on Reddit now and find some of this stuff, but I never would have made it through Super Metroid, even modern day, without the chat. And it was such a harken back to that feeling of sitting on the couch with my cousin, where people were like, oh, if you just go like here, and like if you just do this, and oh, hey, there's that over there too. And it just, there's this sense of, I don't even know how to put it, but there's a sense of camaraderie, even if it's only a single player game, that so many of those retro games capture, that is hard to capture again now.
You're totally right. I would say, to interject there, I was just a couple weeks ago playing Mega Man 2 and then 3 and then 4 with I have two boys, Heather, and my youngest was watching me play, and he's like, I want to watch you play. And I was like, that reminds me like the story you're telling of I was a little brother and watching my older brother play and being fine with watching him play, because I'm like, oh my gosh, now there's this thing, and why is there a giant tiger that's just spitting this pink stuff out of its mouth, and why are there ostriches running around, and him just getting a kick out of just watching everything unfold, and then up into the bosses, right? There's nothing like that, and you feel like you're part of the action with somebody, even it being one player, to exactly your point. It's fun.
It keeps coming back, the games that get on this list. And I think it comes to one word, and I think we're going to see it when we get to the show and we have all of our games assembled, and that is the community, the communal. And I love that we took that one-person experience. I remember watching my cousin play through Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation 1, and it was his PlayStation, but I was watching him go through it, and just that riding shotgun and giving suggestions and figuring it out. While we have the internet, which is a wonderful tool, and it's a great dissemination of information, there's nothing quite like being able to have that subtextual context with somebody else, be able to communicate on those elements that we all love together. Heather, I love the pick, and I love that we took a one player and elevated it to a communal.
Yeah, absolutely. My favorite types of games to play on streams are like narrative, story-driven games, no matter the genre, just because storytelling is so important in not just our culture, but in all cultures. And video games have been doing that, and I feel like need to be recognized more as an art form of storytelling, even as far back as like the NES and the SNES. And a lot of times people see more modern story games like Last of Us and think, oh, why weren't video games always like this? And it's like, they have been, you just haven't been paying attention, you know?
Indeed. Fully agree. Well, Heather, that Super Metroid nomination, I think we actually had Final Fantasy VI nominated from some earlier guests as well. They're going to make it up to our final, let's say, listicle, whatever we might do with it at the actual show proper for the Cleveland Gaming Podcast Live. And, you know, if you're around and you're not inundated with our amazing Cleveland guests, we'd love to have you join us and see where all those games are going to shake out in our list. So thank you for adding that. That's an awesome addition to the list.
Yeah, I'm glad I mentioned it.
Awesome has been mentioned 32 times in this podcast. You're welcome. I'm counting. I'm adding it to my notes.
I literally, since you started with that whole language thing, my mind's been locked in. Like, it's been out of there. I've not even been thinking about alternative.
I've got a silent counter over here. Don't worry, guys.
I believe you 100%.
Cory, Heather, you guys are doing awesome.
But speaking of awesome, 34, we like to end our episodes with an engagement, a little activity. And Heather, as our guest, well, we want you to dive into our activity. So, hey, in the world of content creation and social media, and of course, all the great content that you put together at Channel Awesome 35, we know that you have to fill in the blanks for some people's thoughts. Like, what do the people feel about film X, TV show Y, commercials Z through beta, right? So we decided what's better than filling in blanks than doing a little bit of a Mad Lib. So Heather, we are going to do our very own video game based Mad Lib with you. Tom and I have prepared a fun little narrative, and it's all about video games and that thread of fun and frivolity. And we'd love for you to join in, and let's see what kind of comes out. Heather, you feel ready to be a little mad with us here?
Absolutely.
And for this part, I will be actually doing the note taking.
You haven't actually been taking notes this whole time?
Oh, no,
Tom,
wait,
what are you doing? Tom, what are you
doing?
doing? Tom. Game face, bro.
Busted by the teacher. Story of my life. My TI-99 or whatever they were.
No more playing Worm, Tom. We have to put it down and pick the pencil up. I love that Worm name. That's like the third time I mentioned it in this season, I swear. There's your silent counter. All right, so here, I'm sure you know what Mad Libs are. Friends listening, I'm sure you do. If you don't, I'm going to give a series of blanks. She fills them in, and it comes up the story, and our very own voice actor, Mr. Timothy Jenkins, will read the story for us at the end. Heather, you ready to start up?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. The first thing we need you to do is name a video game character. Simple,
Sonic.
easy. Boom. Tom, type it out. I can see you doing it. There we go. Second, we need an adjective.
Ooh, wow, my brain was just like, adjective. Do 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 do.
This would have been problematic.
Right. Let's go with stinky.
That does pass the smell check for me. Next up, a type of weapon.
Portal gun.
That was a classy choice. I like that. Number 4, you mentioned it as something that's really important to you. A video game world or setting.
Hyrule.
Nice. Now, Tom, I see you're typing it into the questions themselves, but maybe you need to fill it in at the bottom there, too, to help you with reading it at the
Listen. I just spelled Hyrule right. I'm doing great.
It's the small victories.
It truly is. It
I
truly
knew you
is.
were
I
gonna
can't
call
wait.
me out. I'm just doing it to get you while you're working on this. Don't worry, I'll get there. We got a solid 26 seconds left, and a couple.
Watch.
Awesomes.
I'm gonna have to vamp for him. Just watch, Heather. It's gonna happen. I can see it. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Name a powerful villain name.
Sephiroth.
Just wait, Tom. Just wait. Just wait. Can you spell it right? Oh, hold on. Hold on. I wasn't sure. You got
P
there.
before H. Got it.
A verb ending in ing.
Blasting.
It's always sunny. Then I went in there and I came blasting, Tom. You know.
Exactly.
Anyway, I started blasting. Bang! Bang!
Tom knows. He always posts the Friday GIF on our socials every time. Next up, a type of power up or item.
Chug jug.
Tom was muted for that, but he did say,
I like
"Ooh,
that.
nice."
That was a oh nice. Good reading the lips, Cory. Nice. I'm mute on typing, listener.
Number 8, only 3 more to go. Give us an emotion. Emote for us.
Despair.
I tasted that. I felt it. The penultimate, a video game genre. RPG, FPS, puzzle.
Roguelike.
Going with that Hades vibe. I like it. And finally, something that you would yell in victory.
I'll keep it classic. Let's go.
True to your own stream form. Well, that's all 10 of them. Tom, right now, I can see his brow is furfurred. Just a single bead of sweat dropping down as he's filling in all the blanks. And then, well, I guess, Heather, we're going to hear Tom in his very own classy voiceover vibe here. So, Tom, are you ready to read?
Hold on. Give me some more time, but I need some tips. Any tips, Heather, as I prepare for this epic reading?
Just be yourself. You'll be great.
That's terrible advice.
I'll give Tom credit.
That sounded
He
like a
did not
middle
ask-
school teacher move.
Tom?
You're gonna give me one. All right. Heather, you
Here
ready
we
for
go.
your
And
story?
I'll put something underneath it, too. Here we go. A nice little fun underneath. Let's hear it, Tom.
Can't wait to see what music you pick. In the world of Hyrule, only one online influencer can save the realm. The legendary Sonic, armed with their stinky portal gun. They journey across pixelated lands, fighting off minions and blasting their way through danger. Their goal? To defeat the evil Sephiroth, who has stolen the sacred jug and threatens to plunge the world into eternal despair. Through trials worthy of any true roguelike fan, Sonic battles foes, jumps over lava, and collects coins like their life depends on it. when they finally confront Sephiroth atop the final boss tower. They scream, "Let's go!" And the game ends with a glorious explosion of pixels. Game over? More like game one.
Wow, Tom. Wow. That was actually inspiring. Number 36, you deserve it. Awesome.
Thank you. I am a DM in Dungeons and Dragons, so
That's
got
a
little
transferable
practice.
skill.
It is. That's what I say all the time. Thank you. It is. It's fun.
If only it was worth more on the resume, but we'll get there as a whole community. We'll get there eventually.
Heather, you really set that up for success. I feel like Chug Jug, I was waiting for that one. I feel like it was perfect. It was great. That was a great call out there. So nice job, Heather. Round of
Thank
applause
you.
for Heather, too, on those
was
selections.
fun.
Nice job.
Sneaky
That was
portal
great
guns are
selection.
my favorite type of portal guns. So
There is no better portal gun. It's true. It really is. And I gotta say, Tom did a great job, Heather, of reading it out loud. And you know, I think he's gonna be just as good being in the driver's seat for his very own Mad Lib. Tom, once per season, I always gotta wrap someone else in to my chicanery, and it's time for you to get your very own Mad Lib, Tom. We did it, man. We did it. It was Michelle last year, and now it's time for you
God.
to get into it.
I don't know if I feel comfortable with this.
Well, comfortable or not, you got this, man. Hey, here's the good news. It's one less as well. You only have to fill in 9. I filled in number 1.
Is Heather reading this?
Yeah,
may
Heather.
or may not know what's going on.
I love it. You guys are such assholes. Sorry.
It's season 2. We're less afraid of the adjunct swears, you know? Beside,
You can always
sidebars.
bleep it out. They're just a bunch of holes. Yeah, great.
That sounds
Awesome.
worse.
I know, right? That's
Yeah.
what I'm like, awesome.
Yeah, 37. All
All
right,
right, get on with the Mad Libs already.
let's go, Tom. All right. You're starting off with adjectives, sir.
Chunky.
Chunky. How fun, chunky. Hey, Heather, do you want to read the 9 through 10? I'll fill in the blanks here as you go.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. The next thing we need is a noun object.
Pinball machine?
That's a good
You're
one.
like,
I like it.
That's going to go great.
It fits somehow in this thing. I'm not sure, but
We need a verb past tense.
Verb past tense. I don't know. End? Like ended? Ended? Is that fine? Will that work?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Ended?
We're there. We're there now. We can't be anywhere else. I love it. Keep going.
We need a silly superpower.
Electric farts?
That sounds like something your boys would say. Like legitimately.
I definitely channeled the boys on that one. And Heather laughed, so I appreciate it. It was silly.
You know, as much as we all think we've evolved past a good fart joke, we haven't.
Right. I mean, if you say silly, it's got to be fart, power, or something. Got it.
Name of a villain.
Name of a villain. We have to stick with video games or not. I don't know. Let's just go with Bluto.
Wow. That's
not?
deep. No, I love it. It's great.
We need an evil place.
Evil place. Was it be like Saruman's Tower? What is that called? Like, where's the IS? Yeah, what is that called? Someone help me out there.
I don't know if I know the specific
is that a
name of it.
place?
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I'm sure it has a proper noun, but we need our other showrunner, Kathleen, who's the true Lord of
All
the
right,
Rings
let's
expert,
go
to
with
answer that.
maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
It can be generic, like a lava basement.
I'll take that. I'll take lava basement.
All right, lava basement it is. Next one, Heather.
Another adjective.
Adjectives, color is one, right? Isn't a color an adjective, Heather?
Yeah, it can be.
Is it lame?
It's describing.
It's not silly.
Yeah, it would work too.
All right, let's just go with teal. I like the color teal.
Okay.
Better than just blue.
A plural noun.
Controllers?
Okay.
Great. Yeah, that actually works well.
And then the last one is an exclamation.
Something I would yell, exclamation. Giddy up.
Giddy up. Love that. Love that.
Well, we've got our Mad Lib all put together here.
That's Cory's way of saying we appreciate you for trying, Tom. Hold on.
You know what, Tom? We're only gonna know when we read this out loud how it went. Heather, if you want to read the text, I'll do the quotations.
Okay.
Just so I want to get a little bit in there. But
Yeah.
Tom, your story is already the story's name. The Bald Hero Rises. Heather, please.
Once upon a time, in a city plagued by crime and chaos, there was a hero like no other, Final Boss Tom, the chunky warrior with a shining scalp and a heart filled with battletoads. Armed only with their trusty pinball machine, they ended through the streets, always ready to tell people.
This is what good looks like to me.
But what truly set them apart was their unbelievable power to electric farts, a skill that struck both fear and confusion into the hearts of those looking to do the post-convention shakedown at him. One day, the evil Bluto emerged from the depths of the lava basement, threatening to turn the entire world into a teal wasteland filled with cursed controllers. The people screamed, "Idiot! Who will save us now?" Without hesitation, Final Boss Tom stepped forward, scalp gleaming in the sun, and declared,
It's time to teabag, bruh. It's fine. Everybody does it.
and with that, the battle began.
Tom, well done, man. That was a good story you put together, sir.
Heather, yours was much, much better.
No, this was a story of heroes and villains and all coming together with blindness and
Heather,
boldness.
it was a solid 20 seconds of Cory digging at me with me feeling like I had a contribution to it.
Tom, that was nothing but affection because we love you. We love the show you put together. But you know what we also love? Heather, for joining us on the show. Thank you so much for joining us here at the Cleveland Gaming Podcast. Your experience was nothing short of 39. Awesome. Can you give us some places, things, tips? What do we need to do to pick up all the content from Channel Awesome and maybe stuff that you're doing as well?
You can find us pretty easily across all socials on Channel Awesome, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, everywhere really as Channel Awesome. We stream 4 days a week most of the time, Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. So if you pop on to YouTube on Twitch, Monday, Wednesday, Thursdays, or Fridays, you can find us live streaming. We also live stream on YouTube Wednesdays and Fridays. I also have my own personal channel, twitch.tv/Heather Reusz, and you can also find me at Heather Reusz across all socials as well. I just started a TikTok, which feels weird at almost 40, but here we are.
That's what we do. That's how we got to do it as well. We feel it.
Right. You gotta roll with it. Yeah, and I stream 3 days a week on Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So come hang out with the herd. Bring it full circle there.
Yeah, that was awesome. Heather, you were great. This was really fun. This was
a
really
blast.
fun. You were awesome, and you're really
Thank
great
you.
and all your content. So yeah, definitely listeners, please check her out. Check out Channel Awesome and everything. I think I'm going to be part of the herd now.
Thank you. We would love to have you be a part of the Stampede in the herd.
Well, I think it's time for us to find a nice savanna and go prancing along, shall we, everyone?
Tom, we went on a journey with Heather here today, but I just need to really get one more clarity on something from your Mad Lib. Can you just tell me what a chug jug is?
I do know this one.
What's a chug jug?
You don't know? For real?
Not right now.
Fortnite.
No, I've never played Fortnite.
Yeah, it's like the neon slurp juice. I think it's also called, the smaller version of it is called slurp juice. Yes. Yeah, you're allowed. Cory's making a very disgusting face if you're not aware, but it's called slurp juice. And then the bigger version is called the chug jug. True story.
Can we never use the
I can
term
Google it if you want,
slurp on
just
this
to double
podcast
check.
again, Tom? Is that okay? Would that be acceptable for us?
I'm
to never
Googling
use
right now just to verify.
Tom, I believe you. If
Yeah,
you don't believe
I just
yourself,
typed in
I believe you.
slurp into Google. All right, listener, I just typed in slurp into Google, and the first thing that came back was slurp juice Fortnite. So yeah, Cory's still processing, loading.
More importantly, she picked a Final Fantasy game to be one of the best retro games of all time, Tom. So how's your playthrough of 7 going right now?
I have not made any progress. I have not turned it on once since then. I feel like I checked that box, paid my $17.99, played 25 minutes, and have been focused solely on the show and a million other things since then. So you're welcome, listener, because I'm putting so much time into CGC.
There you go. Way to make it a positive. But you know what was positive was having Heather on the episode. It was great to chat with her and learn more about, kind of what the picture of being a full-time content creator with Doug and his whole team at Channel Awesome. And we're, of course, excited to have them back this year for another go-around at CGC. They're just good people like us putting things together. I love it, Tom.
Yeah, she was really fun to talk to, and if you haven't checked out some of their streams, be sure to do so. I know she does a lot with Doug on YouTube. Have you ever seen any of those, Cory? They're really fun. I know she does like a lot of Q&A live, and
oh yeah,
Doug will answer the questions. It's really a fun time. So be sure to check them out as well.
I've dropped a few likes in their stream. I surely have. Just like our listeners were apt to do it at the end of this episode. So friends, do yourself a favor and do all those social catch things, but also let us know wherever you find this podcast. Number one, do you want the word slurp to never be used in this podcast again? Because I would love for that to be avoided. And do you think Tom's going to finish Final Fantasy and promise to all the guests that have come on this show this season? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to get your tickets to the Cleveland Gaming Classic, September 19th through the 21st. We have even more stuff we haven't announced yet. Check out our VIP package. There's a lot of great stuff associated with that. And get ready to have fun. Honestly, let's just boil it down. It's going to be fun on a bun.
It's going to be amazing. But before I play any more Final Fantasy VII, Cory, do you think we just hit save on this file for now?
If you ended up playing more Final Fantasy right now, I would be absolutely shocked. But we'll write down that password as well. Thanks for joining us, everyone. My name is Cory.
And this is Final Boss Tom.
And thank you for listening to the Cleveland Gaming Podcast. We'll catch you on the next one.
Cleveland Gaming Podcast.
Powering down.